Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? It's Friday. Let's grab a beer. Let's have a chat. Who is in? Straight away, every time. He's always the first. Window beer reviews, Thomas says. Night. He always starts early, does Thomas. 4, 5 a.m. Absolute nutter. CJ Art UK says, had a feeling you would stream. Glad I had a nap after going to my local craft bar. Mark, you park loving Ewok schlag. Hello, CJ. How you doing, mate? How's everybody doing? It's Friday. We're here again. Strangely, it's so good. I don't know about anybody else. This week went fast. How are you all doing? Did everyone have a good week? My week was pretty uneventful, if I'm honest with you. Busy at work as normal. Didn't hurt myself, which is a rarity. But yeah, how are we doing? I'm going to kick off proceedings with an Adnams Southwold Earl Grey Lager. 4 cans for £6 out of my local Adnams shop, which is a right result. Boom. There we go. What's everybody else on? There we go. Look at that. I've always liked this beer. It's got a lot of hate. I like Earl Grey. What can I say? Got a few people in. Get in the chat. Say hello. Yep. If you just come in, I'm on an Earl Grey Lager from Adnams. Boom. Lovely old job. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know if you saw the videos. We've got some BeerX videos out. Mr. Coleman, James says, hello, mate. How you doing? Have I seen you before? Might be a new name. If you're new, welcome. Yeah, let us know what you're drinking. BeerX, obviously, just over a year ago now. A lot of fallout from that. Fallout sounds bad, but a lot of videos and all bits and bobs, lots of chat about BeerX, which was just insane. I don't know if you saw my videos. Paul's Beer Reviews has just put a video up recently of a brew kit tour. That was insane. Like I filmed it. My dodgy filming made YouTube finally. But yeah, really, really good tour from Arthur at SSV Limited. Incredible guy, knows his stuff. Oh, of course, yeah. Jamie C says, good fortune by Common Roots Brewing from Glen Falls, New York. Jamie, you must get hold of some good beer, mate. And of course, it's Jim from NCT. So I just know you was Jim from NCT. I didn't know you was James Coleman. For those that don't know, obviously I had a baby. She's 5 months old as of a couple of days ago. And Jim's got a little boy who is a very similar age. And we went to NCT class together. Jim and I kind of, I suppose we were sort of... how would I say? We had something in common in terms of we didn't really know how to do. We knew how to be probably be fun dads, but didn't know the necessity or the necessary day-to-day caring for the baby stuff. So we went to NCT class together. So yeah, thanks Jim for coming in, mate. I appreciate that, mate. Absolute Bedlam's in. Sup, dude? Hello, mate. He's putting some beers up. Yeah, cheers. Jim, have you got a beer? You like a beer, didn't you? What beer you got? You must have something. Jim doesn't live too far from me, actually. Absolute Bedlam says, you're a fan of Game of Thrones by any chance? If so, I have an announcement of sorts. Absolute Bedlam. Never seen it. Never seen it. Honestly, I'm useless. Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. I've never seen a Rocky film, never seen a Die Hard film. I'm useless. It's like a bone of contention with me and my friends. They always get angry when I sort of tell them the amount of films and TV series that I haven't seen. But feel free to do the announcement anyway, mate. I can imagine it's someone. Is it someone on the podcast? But yeah. So Jim says, oh, here we go. I've had a couple of Pilsners. Nothing as exotic as you, mate. Honestly, mate, I just went to the Adnams shop. I was, it's annoying. It's annoying because I've got so much beer in the fridge, but it's all for review. And I kind of like go to the fridge. And I'm like, oh, do I want to drink that? Oh, it's too good. Oh, probably one for the channel. Anyway, it just means I've got beer on top of beer. He's like this. He's like, I'm out. This geezer doesn't know anything. Leave stream. Oh, Jamie C says trivia. How many breweries in Norfolk? Are we talking? This has got to be in Norfolk, UK. I reckon. Geez, there's so many. I'm going to guess over 50. I'm going to guess 55. There you go. That's my guess. Stuart McMillan, hello mate. Game of Thrones is ghastly. He says, mate, I've just never watched it. I've got this thing like I don't really. I like sort of factual stuff. Like I like things like the Cray movie and stuff like that, or the Craze movie and stuff. Like I really struggle with Games of Thrones. Absolute Bedlam says, no, I can't handle it. Honestly, mate, I'm useless. Like I say, it's a bone of contention. He says it's the leader of the White Walkers, the bad guys on Game of Thrones. Is that who you've got on your podcast? Yeah, announce it, mate. Stick it out there. Here we go. My favourite as of last Wednesday when he got up and done an impromptu comedy gig in a brew pub called The Handyman. My favourite scale. So Captain Meets Adventure. How you doing, mate? Jim says best Norfolk brewery. I think pound for pound. I think in terms of like churning the best beer, I think it's Duration. I don't know if anyone's better than Duration in Norfolk at the moment. They are smashing it out of the park. Jim, if you've not had any Duration, I think there's a place in Wyndham that sell. There's like a little shop that sells craft beers. They sell Duration. You need to get to know them, mate. They are incredible. They do this Pilsner. You used to talk about Pilsners. They do an Italian Pilsner called Cutting Grass. It is ridiculous. Duration. Yeah, you said of it. Happy days. Have you tried any? CJ says, where are we gone? Going to crack an Erdinger Weiss beer, mate. Erdinger's just, I really rate the Erdinger Weiss is good and the Erdinger Dunkel is very nice. I quite rate that. Timmy Funster says, I'm sure only poor people care for Norfolk. Never mind Norfolk trivia, yuck. Timmy, I'm from Norfolk. Well, I've moved to Norfolk 4.5 years ago. There is a beard that is crummy in the chat. Every evening, heroes. How are we all? One of the loveliest men on YouTube. I think so. I'm voting for that. Absolute Bedlam says, yes, that's who I've got on. He's called Ross Mullen. Oh, Crummy. Now, Crummy will watch Game of Thrones. I'm certain of it. Absolute Bedlam, Crumb. He said, yes, that's who I've got on. He's called Ross Mullen. He's done loads of other prosthetic actor stuff like Doctor Who and Clash of Titans. That sounds like a good one. He said, Jim says, yeah, mate, I love Duration. This chat is hilarious. Jim, just wait. There's a guy that called Jack Howard, brackets, the Suffolk Viking. He's from, he calls himself, well, he thinks he's from Aldborough. He's actually from Leiston. But yeah, he's immense. There we go. Jamie C says, good guess, 48 breweries. See, I was 7 out, and I said 50. I'm not gonna claim it. I'll say 55. I was 7 out. That's not bad. But yeah, this place is insane for breweries. I co-organise a beer festival called the Holston Beer Festival. It's over 2 days. It's the 24th and 25th of June this year. Obviously, I'll remind you nearer the time. Anyone that wants to come out, but the breweries are insane. Like I live in a small little town in South Norfolk, market town in South Norfolk. There we do a 15. I do the beer. I organise the beer. That's my job. It's kind of like playing to your strengths and all that, I suppose. I order the beer, and we do a 15-mile beer menu. And there's at least 12 commercial breweries. When I say commercial, I mean like they sell their beer rather than brew pubs and stuff. 12 commercial breweries within 15 miles. I mean, it's insane around here. Captain, the crummy bit says, oh, shucks. Yeah, no, I shouldn't have said that. You're going to dine out on that for a little while. Captain says, I wonder if this is the real crummy. Okay, let's see. The question is Prince Andrew is, was he the Night King? He's your best mate, Captain. Oh God, let's not go there with the those sorts of jokes. Captain Meets is back with Captain Crummy. Is that what you call Prince Andrew the Night King? It depends if you're a 17-year-old girl. Oh, yeah. Prince nonce, isn't he? Anyway, we're not going to do that anymore. Crumb, what's the latest on the Formula One? Because I know there's a few Formula One fans in here, car racing fans in here. There was like missiles and stuff going into... Was it the city of Jeddah nearby? Like it was scary. Like it's mental, and it's not the Russians. It's the Houthis or something. James C says Prince Andrew is handy Andy. Yeah, exactly. Crummy says that Night King was the Game of Thrones question for Absolute Bedlam. Was he the Night King? Oh, there you go. Was he the Night King? Absolute Bedlam, your guest on your podcast coming up. Jim says GP is still on though. Yeah, I mean, they didn't. Crummy was saying earlier. I was on Crummy's live. They silenced the drivers and stuff to like. I think they just can't. I think the FIA cancelled all the driver interviews. I don't know. It's pretty worrying. Like, it's weird. But Crummy says the missile hit the Aramco fuel depot. Nothing confirms everything. Messages keep sending before I finish. Crummy's had a couple of beers tonight, hasn't he? He's normally bang on the. He literally types for a living, and now all of a sudden he can't type. He's having a mare. He says it looks like it's going ahead, but not 100%. Yeah. So the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Jeddah. Yeah. Who knows? Captain says, let's be honest, Lewis Hamilton is so unlikable. Everything he stands for, plastic carrying in his private jet. I get it. I do get it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We won't go too far into the green agenda, but I don't like all this virtue signalling when he's flying around in his private jet going to parties, and yet he wants to criticise people like you and me for driving around in uneconomical cars. Seems a bit weird, doesn't it? Anyway, we're not going to go there too much. Jamie Sees says, with a real crummy beard, please stand up. Oh, that's fair. I saw this earlier. Crummy says a 10.5% Pirat has broken my typing. So Pirat, 10.5% Pirat is a 10.5% strong. I think actually a Pirat is defined as a strong Belgian beer. I think it says it on the front of the bottle. So yeah, Crummy's a little bit drunk. Crummy says he doesn't have the jet anymore. I don't like him, but either. But lies don't help. Yeah. True, he did have the jet though, didn't he? And it was all, I don't know. I think the thing is, it's not just Lewis Hamilton. I rate him as a sportsman, one of the best ever, if not the best ever. But yeah, practice what you preach in life. That's what I was always told. Captain Meat says the other thing I hear about Hamilton is when he walks around with a woman carrying everything while he puts his hairband in. Yeah, but he's a machine, isn't he? He is a machine. Like him carrying around stuff stops his. He's an elite sportsman. They've got systems. They've got practices, and him putting his hair in, walking down the pit lane is probably one of his practices. So Crummy says, "Yeah, Angie, yeah, Angela, she's a hero, but doesn't look a bit sussy." CJ says, "Hamilton is a fake woke Illuminati shill." I don't know. We'll stay away from that. But yeah, it's a strange old world, isn't it? I do find it funny that certain people can fly around in private jets to parties, and yet if you want to take your 12-year-old Ford Fiesta into the middle of London, it's going to cost you 25 quid or whatever it is from now on. Just saying. Right, what's everybody drinking? I am getting through this. The Earl Grey Lager from Adnams. Adnams are my biggest regional brewer. And I was talking to Crummy. He didn't agree when I said that Adnams, for me, I don't know if a big regional brewer does it better than Adnams. But yeah, Crummy didn't agree. Crummy says, anyway, can we just feel bad for McLaren for a moment? What's up with McLaren? I know they've not got off to the I know they've not got off to the best start to the season, but yeah, what's wrong? Yeah, don't know. Oh, talking of cars, actually. I've had my car in storage for 2 years and it passed its MOT yesterday. Couldn't believe it. It's a proper summer car. Let me find a picture. Where is the picture? Jim would have seen this, and Jim's got a nice car too. But that's the car. There we go. That was yesterday. May or may not have been a thumbnail for a video that's going to come out next week. But yeah, some beery adventures in the Westfield. I've also got shared ownership of a Mark 1 Escort with my dad that will surely be coming out for some beery adventures as well. But yeah, the Westfield, hadn't driven it in 2 years. The carburetors were a bit coffee and spluttery. They cleared out and it passed its MOT. First time. No minors either. Insane. Unlike Prince Andrew's bedroom, which has got lots of minors. Captain Meats Adventure says Max is a proper throwback driver from the 80s and 90s. Yeah, Max, he's a battler and he's just a warrior, an absolute warrior. He puts his car in places. You know what I mean. Crummy says I'm in bed. No more beer tonight. Well, when you've had a 10.5%, Crummy, you know what I'm saying. He also says, yeah, looked promising and then flopped. Yeah. At the end of last season, I honestly thought they'd be contenders this year. They've got so much money, they've got so much resource. It's probably not really, it's probably not really acceptable, really, is it? Crummy also says drivers are still in the Grand Prix Drivers Association meeting, now 2 hours long. He's laughing, I presume, at a joke I made about a Nancy Prince that we all know. Captain Me says, for me, the season starts off in Monaco when the problems are ironed out. Yeah, it's always a bit weird, isn't it, the first few races of the season? Still didn't feel right not starting in Melbourne, though. I used to love the Melbourne opener. Wake up at like whatever it was in the morning, 4 a.m. to watch a Grand Prix. I used to love it. But money talks. Maybe kind of COVID's had a sway. Obviously being in Bahrain and stuff. But yeah, Crummy says probably Spain, Captain. But yeah, it's Spain's early May, isn't it? Early May, and then Monaco's normally around the end of May. But yeah, when they get to Europe and things sort of start settling down a little bit. But let me know your plans for the weekend. What am I doing tomorrow? We got some friends up actually. He's got quite a good car. He's got an M8 competition that I might be doing some filming with over this weekend. He's also got a motorbike, but I don't think he's if you watch Beers and Gears episode 1, it's the same guy. But yeah, we got them up. And then Sunday, I'm going on a little beery adventure. Probably won't film it with my father-in-law in the Westfield. Just going to go and hoon out, probably Southwold somewhere. Bowl of chip or bag of chips and a pint. Can't get better than that. Crummy says, agreed. Secretly love that caffeine-induced steak for the first race. Yeah, mate, do you remember? Like, money talks though, doesn't it? Obviously, Melbourne's had a total reprofile as well, which is really exciting. Crummy... Captain says, I remember Australia being the last race. It was always Japan and Australia. Ooh, bloody hell, yeah, that is that's going back some. But then it was Brazil, wasn't it, for a little while, and now it's Abu Dhabi because they obviously pay the most money. Crummy Beard says, my weekend depends on whether we have an F1 race or not. Kind of mine too. It used to be skiing. Skiing season finished last Sunday, but yeah, my weekends are normally organised around sport, I have to say. Yeah, Crummy says that was a long time ago, Captain. That was a long time ago. Captain says no footy for a couple of weeks. He gutted boxing and F1. International breaks are rubbish, aren't they? They are rubbish. Especially, I mean, I support a team called Charlton who are pants at the moment. We've got 1 or 2 internationals somehow, and we get our games cancelled. Weird. Oh, got a burp. Captain says, in terms of when Australia was the last race, he said that is when Senna, Mansell, Prost and Piquet were racing. What a lineup. I think we got a good lineup this year, though. There's a lot of good names in that. I mean, what we got? 5 or 6? We got 4 or 5 world champions on the grid. Vettel, Hamilton, Max, Alonso. 4 world champions. That's not bad. That is not bad. Captain Meek said international footy is plebs. Yeah, it's poison. Honestly, it's absolute poison. Absolute poison. Jim says, anyone got any stag do ideas for Norwich Norfolk? Trying to plan one now. Oh, I've not done any stag do's around here, but I have done some great nights away on a boat, like going on the boat and just getting absolutely slaughtered on a boat on the Broads. But you've probably done that already. Like that's a new thing to me, being from Kent originally. Crummy Beer says, Drive to Survive in the GP. Oh no, are they? Oh yeah, God, they're gonna have to drama that one up. 2 hour long meeting. I tell you what, Jim. Message me. You've got my number. Message me. We did have a Monopoly board made for Norwich. Through the round table, if you want that, mate. I'm sure I can get hold of that for you. But yeah, I don't know. Where is Formula One going? I mean, all the cars are bouncing. They've just changed. It's all, I don't know. It's a shame. I thought this is going to be, I don't know. Now all of a sudden we've got missiles raining in on racetracks. It's weird. Jim says, "Oh, nice. Cheers, mate. Yeah, just if you don't want it, don't message me. If you want it, message me." But yeah, I don't know. Formula One just doesn't cover itself in glory, does it? Generally, Too much money involved. Right. I've nearly done that can. That was very nice. I like it. Oh, it's actually in association with Tea Pigs. Tea Pigs, Tea Bags. Didn't even say that. That makes sense. Where are we going to go next? What's everybody else drinking? Obviously, Crummy's in bed. He's probably got a Horlicks or something. Crummy says the bouncy bounce is a good thing. More driver input required, but the rest isn't looking good. I know, mate. I know. Mark Jones Gibbons says, hello, Mark. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is good is on good form and drinking good beer. I feel like I'm on both, mate, actually. I've just literally poured the rest of that into the glass. Weirdly refreshing. What are you on, Mark? I know you've always got something half decent in your hand. But yeah, there we go. Anyone see Gareth Bale's free kick last night? Crummy, I know you don't like football, but that was insane. Connor Jackson. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well, mate. Thanks, Connor. Hope you're well, mate, too. Are you sticking around? Pull up a... Oh, got itchy foot. Pull up a pew, mate. Grab a beer. Yeah, Gareth Bale's free kick last night. He hardly plays a game for Real Madrid. Someone said he literally gets paid 600 grand a week and he plays golf because Real Madrid just don't want him anywhere near the squad. What a life. Yeah, and they treat their players like absolute rubbish as well. Crummy says no, he didn't see it, but he saw that last knocking goal. Italy, that last goal knocking Italy out of the qualifier. North Macedonia. That's 2 World Cups in a row now that they haven't qualified for. So they didn't qualify for the World Cup. Technically 3 years later, I suppose, won the Euros and then didn't qualify for a World Cup again. Absolutely embarrassing, and it is an absolute embarrassment. Captain Meat says the best F1 documentary is A Season with McLaren from '93. There's an episode where Senna picks a problem with the car that a £30 million computer does not pick up. Captain, what is that called? I'd be really interested in seeing that. And CJ, he knows it. Southampton make the best free kick takers. Can't deny it, mate. I can't deny it. You look at James Ward-Prowse, what a player. Is he in the England squad? Probably not, because he doesn't play for Man United. Connor Jackson says, yeah, I'm buzzing with the Italy again. That was mental. Karma for the Euros. I saw Twitter. Twitter was absolutely kicking off this morning. I did love all the memes. Like, there was Chiellini pulling Saka back, and it was like North Macedonia was Chiellini, and then it was Italy going to the World Cup. Did make me laugh. The Corey Beard says they beat Wales in rugby, and the F1 last weekend. They had their luck. Yeah, true. That's it. Mark Jones Gibbon. I said he had something good in his hand. Mark Jones says, I'm on the baller from Lords tonight, mate. Bloody love the stuff. Gareth Bale was immense last night, mate. Mate, let's start with Baller. Baller Mountain IPA. I won a case of that, which is weirdly how I got into YouTube. It literally is the reason why I got into YouTube, really. But yeah, what a beer that is. The Mountain IPA from Lords. Cracking. And Gareth Bale was immense last night, mate. He's like the Maradona of that Argentina side, isn't he? Give him the ball. Give him the ball at all costs. He'll just do it. Yeah, JWP is in. Oh, right. See, now I don't know what that means, and now I feel silly. Please elaborate, mate. Sorry, it's late and I'm well simple. Captain Meat says F1 should get rid of the halo, driver aids, manual gearboxes, and open the goddamn cockpits. I was against the halo. I thought it looked rubbish. I didn't see the need for it. The only real study that they had where it would have saved a life was Henry Surtees. That wasn't even an F1 car at Brands Hatch. And then Alonso landed on Hamilton at Spa, and then Verstappen at landed on Hamilton at Monza. Yeah, so I think that might have saved the life. CJ says Matt Letizia, though, he was great. Yeah, Matt Letizia. He used to bang him in, didn't he? He used to run up and like Roberto Carlos him in. He was insane. Captain Meat says it's called A Season with McLaren. I'll have to look at that. Connor Jackson's on the San Miguel tonight. Cheers, mate. Don't mind a San Miguel. Special at a barbecue. Proper barbecue beer, that San Miguel, isn't it? Proper barbecue beer. Mm. Sorry, mate. I knew I was simple. James Ward-Prowse said his name earlier. What a player! What a player! And oh, so yeah. So this this means yes, James Ward-Prowse is in the England squad. What a legend! Fair play to him. What a player! Crummy Beard says, Captain, if I recall, that was something stupid like hairline crack in the suspension that you could feel the difference in cornering. Yeah, what man, taken far too soon. Obviously, proper genius. Captain Meat says you can get a season with McLaren on YouTube. I'm gonna have a look at that. Crummy says, remember when Grosjean ran up the front of Schumacher and nearly took his head off? I'm all for the halo, but get rid of driver raids for sure. Yeah, I think I think Nicky Lauda said it right, didn't he? He said it a couple of years ago. He's like, give the cars 1,000 horsepower and some big sticky tires. That's all the fans want. Bad impression. Should have done that really. But yeah, do you know what I mean? It's don't know. I think it's too much, isn't it? Like they're driving along and they're changing like the brake bite. Oh, it's too much. Take the screen off the steering wheel, give them 1,000 horsepower, some big sticky tires, and a tank of fuel, and watch them race. That's kind of my attitude towards it. I know it's not very green, but hey ho, it's the Premier Motorsport. It doesn't need to be green. Connor Jackson says, "Cheers, mate. Yeah, likewise. Cheers to you, good sir." Leo Gaming's in. He's just said Leo Gaming. Fair play, Leo. Thanks for coming in, mate. Captain Meat says, yeah, Crummy said it was the dogs and the best of all time. Yeah, the way that footage of him when he was driving through Monaco, one-handed, changing gear, going around the swimming pool one-handed. Absolute sicko, mate. And Mark James Gibbon says, we were excellent from 1 to 11 last night. One game away from a first World Cup in 58 years. Wow. And I'll tell you what, if you don't do it with this squad, I think it'll be a long time for you guys. As for the Halo, I didn't like the idea. Then the Jules Bianchi accident happened. Yeah. Horrible. Crummy's going to go for some in-depth research because he's going to go and check on the latest F1 news. He'll be back. But yeah, the Jules Bianchi incident. Didn't they say the Halo wouldn't have saved him, though? I'm certain they said the Halo wouldn't have saved him. Yeah, I don't know. I saw through Twitter and stuff, it all kicked off, and I saw the actual fan footage of him going into that digger or recovery vehicle. I don't know. It's horrible. Jim says, and there's not many driver aids, is there? No, they're not so much driver aids, Jim. More like they can change the setup of the car. And it's all the controls they've got. Like they can move the brake bias, they can change the diff settings, they can do like engine maps and stuff. I'd just like to see them set up the car once and off they go. But no, you're right. In terms of sort of strict driver aids, things like ABS and power steering and stuff, there isn't a lot. I know they've got hydraulic steering, but yeah. Captain Meat says the best Welsh player is Ian Rush for me. Yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you? I mean, it's going to be hard to argue against Gareth Bale, isn't it? Ryan Giggs, I suppose. And then Chris Gunter, that plays for Charlton, actually, was in the most capped Welsh player ever. Anyway, Trav's in. Hello, mate. Hey there. Late night chat on Ewoks beer reviews. Trav's out at work today. I'll say that. I'm pretty sure he's out of work today. He's normally out of work on Saturday. Cheers, Trav. This is normally I'm normally you in the mornings when you message me on Instagram and you're pissed. Which I love, by the way. I love talking to you, mate. Right then, that's done. Where are we going to go next? I've got this, which is I'm kind of feeling it. This actually, I think it might be this. And Crummy's not in. I think Crummy's gone to do his research. But Black Art Brewery Hibernator, an oatmeal stout. And I've got another can of that, but I'll do that in a minute. So stout it is. Mark Jones Gibbons says, actually got that wrong. Should have been our first World Cup since 1958. We went out in the quarterfinals. What? Quarterfinals of the World... What? You got quarterfinals of the World Cup? No, surely not. Here he is. Joey is in. What's Mark? What up, bro? Hey, Joey. Thanks for coming in, mate. I appreciate that. Joey, like I say every time, Joey's got a podcast called Square Table Degenerates Podcast. He has some insane people in. Just go and have a look. I'm not going to say anymore. Just go and have a look. Trevor Wilson says Bale coming to West Ham in the 2023 season. Oh, I'll tell you what. Wouldn't surprise me. Excuse me. Wouldn't surprise me because I think West Ham would pay his wages. I think it's the right setting for him. And I think it's somewhere where he can be a big fish in a small pond again, which I thought he really thrived, which is what he thrived at when he was at Tottenham, because Tottenham weren't anywhere near the team they are now back then. But yeah, be really interesting to see. Really interesting to see. We've got a few more people who just launched in. Hello, everyone. Get in the chat. Say hello. I'm about to crack another beer. It's a Black Iris Oatmeal Stout. Boom. There we go. Captain Meat says, Mick Schumacher will never be as good as his dad. When his dad started, it was driver skill. Look at his dad driving that Jordan 7-Up car. You know what? I think that's probably going to be Mick Schumacher's biggest problem, is the Schumacher name. His dad's arguably one of the greatest of all. Well, his dad is one of the greatest of all time. Arguably the greatest of all time. That's a fair wagon to tow around behind you, isn't it? But yeah, I don't know. I do envy him because he's driving a Formula One car for a living, and he's signed. I think he's a Ferrari driver, isn't he? Equally, a lot of pressure. Captain says that the problem with international footy is too many games, and the Champions League is now the biggest competition to win. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? I think a lot of Premier League players would rather win the Champions League, understandably, but it's the money, it's the hype. I mean, look at it. Yeah, I mean, the Champions League does rule all, and I think that's probably where they got the idea for this European Super League from, because they saw the money. Sid Cannon says, in his day, no Welshman could get near Ian Rush, but 30 years have passed, another Welshman have come along. Yeah, that's a fair point. I think that's the thing with like the argument about like who's the greatest F1 driver, Fangio, Senna. They're from different eras. Different eras, driving different cars, living different lifestyles. We just got to appreciate them for the era they were in, and that applies to Ian Rush as well. Mark Jones Gibbons says, "Yeah, mate, we lost 1-0 to Brazil in Gothenburg." Yeah, mate, I'm gonna have to research this. I remember the Euros a few years back. When did you beat us or something? You got to the semis, didn't you? Was it the semis or the quarters of the Euros? I never realised you got to the quarterfinals of a World Cup. That's huge. We got to the semis once, didn't we? And we won it, obviously, way back when. But yeah, it's probably better than England. Cromie says the team principals are now back in the meeting. It's not over yet. Oh my God! If you're having this amount of meetings about missiles landing nearby, tells you all you need to know, doesn't it? But I'm sure it'll all revolve around money. And Cromie says, "Yeah, Mick is Ferrari Academy." Of course he will. Of course he is. Yeah, I think it'd be quite criminal if he was to rock up at Red Bull or McLaren or Mercedes or whatever. Wow, that is a no-nonsense stout crumb. I'm on the Black Isle Hibernator. Yeah, that is a no-nonsense stout. Very bitter, but I like it. CJ says, you keep calling it Black Iris. Oh, I know, I do all the time. Black Isle. Sorry, I know, mate. I know. It's sorry. It is Black Isle. I don't know. It's me, innit? It's me. You know what my videos are like. They're all over the gaff. Connor says, "What team do you support, Mark?" I'm a Liverpool fan. Nice, mate. You're a very happy boy. I'm not so much a happy boy because I support Charlton Athletic. Family thing, not by choice. My uncle. I don't know how old you are, Connor, but certainly some of the older guys in the chat, or say some of the older guys, sort of. I'm 33. They'll be older than me. They'll remember Charlton nearly going bankrupt, ground sharing and stuff. My uncle was one of the original guys. There was 12 of them to put in a sum of money to buy the club back and buy the ground back. So I used to live about an hour and 15 away from Charlton. That's the connection. My uncle lived in Chicago So every June, July time, 4 directors' box season tickets would land on our doorstep, and they were pretty much ours to use. So yeah, Charlton Athletic. We had some good days. But yeah, my uncle, he got bought out. When would it have been? Getting on for 10 years ago now. And yeah, the club just went down the toilet. Captain Meat says England should play across the country like they did when Wembley was getting built. England is a London thing. I do agree. They probably, when Wembley was getting knocked down, they probably should have built it somewhere like Birmingham, in the Midlands, like equal for everybody, in the heart of the country. But yeah, I suppose, I think that's the thing in it. I think when you look at Spain, like where does Spain play? Madrid and Barcelona. That's both northern Spain, isn't it? I don't know. They normally float around the big cities or the capital cities of the countries. But yeah, no, I do agree. I think they had a good chance when they got the opportunity to rebuild Wembley. Crummy says beautiful stout. That's straight up stuff. Honestly, just loads of roasted malt. An earthy bitterness to it. It whacks you in the mouth. That is a stout and a half. That's proper British stout, that is. Captain Me says, up the Reds. Connor, League or Champions League? Oh, yeah, Connor Jackson. There we go. You and Crummy are now best friends and you didn't even know it. You and Captain, sorry. See, I'm useless with things like this. Crummy says, Black Iris are good, just not the same. There is a Black Iris. Is there not a Black Iris brewery? I'm sure there is. But yeah, this Black Isle Brewery stuff, I've had pretty much most of their core range at the moment. I've got all the old cans in front of me. I've been pretty impressed, to be fair. For a core range, it's very, very good. I've got a couple of craft beers to try as well. Connor says I'm 22, mate. Connor, welcome, mate. Yeah, you're 11 years younger than me, so cheers to making me feel old. Right then, Disco's just come in, hello mate, with Argyle are massive. Yeah, I don't know. You're higher than us in the league, I think, so you're more than welcome to that. Crummy says you told me you were younger than me yesterday. Which is it? I was born in 88. Are you? Talk to me. Yeah, I was born in 88 anyway. Captain Meat says, Mark, if I knew you liked Black Iris, I could have taken you to see her in Liverpool. No comment. Disco is massive. We all are after lockdown, to be fair. Travis says, I've got all your beers, mate. Now I've just got to post them. Diesel prices are currently raping my bank accounts. Mate, thank you. Thank you. Oh, hold on. I've just mentioned Disco, and we have a Disco in the chat. Boom, there we go. Hello, mate.
Greetings, sir.
How are you getting on?
Not too bad. I would ask how you doing, but I've seen how you're doing all evening on the YouTube. So
there we go. Yeah, yeah. I was kind of umming and ahhing about this one, but I thought, sod it, I'm going to go for it because I didn't do one last week because I was just knackered after Beer X.
Yeah, well, you very kindly sent me the link, so I thought I'd pop in, say hello.
Oh, mate, thank you for coming in. How's things with you? Everything good?
Yeah, I haven't done too much on the beer recently. I've sort of been off it a little bit this month, and I haven't really done too many reviews either. I haven't done too many videos, so I did just fancy a beer tonight, so I thought, well, I'll pop in, say hello.
Is that a mark of when Disco's ill? He's off his beer the same way when a dog's ill, it's off its food.
A lot of people would possibly say that, but yeah, I've got so many beers in the stash. It's a case of I've got too many beers and not enough me, and I'm like, which one do I drink next, and which one do I review? And then I sort of just run out of time. And I like the other week, I was just watching you guys on the stream, and I got to like a couple of hours in, and I went, hang on a minute, I haven't had a beer yet. I'm just laughing along with you guys, and I haven't even. I just got a cup of tea, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, who am I, and what have I done with Disco? You know,
it's easily done, mate. It's easily done. Right, Captain Meat says, I don't think Charlton ever recovered after Kirbyshire left, like when Bolton when Allardyce when Allardyce left and Pulis left Stoke.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you just don't realise. It's probably. You're an Arsenal. No, you're a Plymouth. Is it Rasco that's an Arsenal fan?
Rasco doesn't know a lot about football because he's a QPR fan.
But yeah, it's probably like when Wenger left. You never realise how good you had it with these managers. and all of a sudden they leave, and then you plummet down. It's a bit of a mess.
It's cyclical, and it goes round. You have your good moments and your bad moments, and it goes like that with seasons. Like if you've done well, you've been in the Prem for a bit, and then you maybe don't get straight back up again, yo back up again, like your Watfords and your Palaces, and you hang around in the Championship for a bit. But like we had the same. We got as far as the Championship for 5-6 years, couldn't really sustain it, and then they thought they was getting loads of money from the. They thought they was going to be one of the cities for the England World Cup bid.
Yeah,
they were talking about a 40,000 seater stadium, and it's like we're never getting it. We're out on a limb down there. They ain't going to send the World Cup to Plymouth, like. And they spent a lot of money, and they lost a lot of money, and then we just went down the chute and just ended up in the bottom tier and nearly went out of the league. But yeah, we're on it a little bit now, so we're on a bit of a run, which will probably end tomorrow because we've got Ipswich. So.
Oh, please beat them. Then I'm a Charlton fan primarily, but I moved from Kent obviously to South Norfolk, so I have adopted the Norwich thing because it's my local team. I've always been a local team kind of guy, and obviously my daughter's 5 months old. I've got her a Norwich shirt and all the rest of it. So we'll see. So yeah, beating Ipswich, please, mate. That would be absolutely brilliant.
I've got a lot of time for both of them. We used to go, like obviously when we was in the Championship, we went to both of them a fair bit, and they were always good trips. It's all about the beer and all about the day out. You know what I mean? But,
I mean, Norwich. Talk about Norwich for beer. Norwich used to have until relatively recently a different pub for every day of the year.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Yeah.
Big drinking city. Even now, I do find it's one of the worst or best kept secrets. It's like the amount of brew pubs, and you've got pubs like the Artichoke, the Plasterer's Arms, like proper. You'll go in and there'll be 20 beers, 14 keg and 6 cask or whatever. Loads of good beer pubs.
We used to go to the one up the side of the station, just back along up the hill. Can't remember what it's called now.
Oh, Chalk Hill Brewery.
No, it was a pub. It wasn't a brewery.
It's what's it called?
It's like the Wellington or something.
Yeah, that's it. It does all like the American big sort of hot dogs and burgers sort of food.
Oh,
really
right.
traditional pub. Where is it?
Been a while.
Where is it? I think it's there, isn't it? No. Where are we? Is it? I think it might be the Wellington. Coach and Horses.
Oh, that sounds about right. Yeah.
They've got a little brew pub in the back there, haven't they?
Okay.
The brewery in the back there.
Oh.
Crammy says, yeah, Black Iris is in Nottingham, mate. Yeah, so I keep confusing Black Iris with Black Isle.
It's not a long jump, but it is a long way between the two of them, isn't it?
When you've had a couple of beers.
Yeah.
Plays havoc. Sid Cannon says Charlton and Kirbishley were a very good fit. Yeah, I'll tell you why, because people like my uncle never gave Kirbishley any money, and Kirbishley was very good with his scouting team pulling out free transfers. People randomly like Radostan Kishishev, the Bulgarian player. We signed him for absolute peanuts. And
he also had a really good team around him. He had good backroom staff as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it was very well backed. I mean, always, I mean, every so often they give him some money, and he'd buy players like Jason Yule that would do really well for us. But generally speaking, Curbs was awesome. Mark Jones says, only time as a Liverpool fan I've cursed a Liverpool fan. I had a good away day trip to Liverpool once. We beat Liverpool 1-0. Sean Bartlett scored a header, and then some of you Liverpool fans might remember right at the end of the game, like 90 minutes plus 4, Gerrard, it was Kishishev actually, slide tackles Gerrard. Gerrard goes down, ref goes, does that. We were like, no. Walks over to Gerrard and books him for diving and gave us a goal kick. What a day.
We had a great weekend in Liverpool. We had FA Cup game and it was moved to the Sunday. And we drew 0-0. It was the most exciting 0-0 game I've ever seen. And we obviously went out on a lash in Liverpool, another great city to go for a beer. But the standout thing of the game was our centre-back, Sonny Bradley. And they had a corner and he just walked up to Emre Can in the middle of the box. So obviously the ref weren't looking. And he just stroked his ear. Give me old wet willy behind the ear. And Emre Can just didn't know what to do. He was like, this don't happen in the Premier League. Like, you know what I mean? It just put him off.
Getting a wet willy.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And we all saw it was down our end as well. Like, and nobody else really saw it apart from us. It's fantastic.
Oh, mate, nice one. Chris is in. Hello, mate. Oi, he says, what's happening? He says, Mark, do you want more guests on the stream? I'll drop the link and I'll gladly join, mate. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll send you a link in a minute, mate. Phone's just charging at the moment, but as soon as I've got a bit of battery, I'll send you the link. Chris, how you doing, mate? Chelsea, talk to me about Chelsea. Are you allowed to sell some tickets to away days, but not your home games, but you can do your cup games? I don't know. It's a bit weird, bit of a weird one at Chelsea, isn't it? I hope you're... I mean, I think everyone's going to dine out on it if Chelsea get bankrupt. Not that it will happen, but I don't like. It's the fans that suffer at the end of the day when I see this stuff go on. It's like when.
Well, I think I've had a little bit of banter with Chris in the chats there, but I've got no particular love for Chelsea. But I do think they've been a little bit hard done by. Like as a business, like you still got people to pay, and you've still got tickets. It's like why they're not allowed ticket sales is bizarre. But like you say, I saw a thing earlier. I didn't read it, but they're allowed to sell some tickets now or something.
It's all like weird. It's like they're allowed to sell tickets to cup games. They're allowed to sell tickets to home cup games. They're allowed to sell tickets to away games. It's a really messed up. Oh, pardon me. But yeah, taking off. Captain Meat says Emre Can was a whopper. I was at the match when Charlton beat Liverpool 2, Mark. It was 2003. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah, funny memories. That season, that 2002, it was the 2002-2003 season. I missed 4 games in total, and they were Sunderland, Newcastle, and the 2 Manchesters.
Home and away, or just home?
Home and away.
Cool.
Yeah, that was when I was spending my dad's money on them. Not that my dad was ever loaded. We were far from it, but yeah, he used to like me going around at Charlton. Captain Meats says, yeah, same as what you've just said there, Disco. It's the staff you've got to feel sorry for at Chelsea.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because these staff, like they're opening the doors for 200 grand a week footballers, but they're on any other. They might as well be working in Tesco's. They don't earn any more money because they work for Chelsea. And they've all got mortgages to pay, and they're all on the breadline like everybody else. So yeah, the Crummy Beard says that the mechanics are protesting having to be there via Instagram posts. Multiple teams have members who have expressed concern. So, Disco, have you seen this about the Formula One?
No, I was quite surprised it started it again. It only finished like a couple of months ago, didn't it?
It did, but they're in Saudi Arabia at the moment, and there's been some missiles go into an Aramco oil plant.
Oh, right.
Is it from the Houthis or there's a group called the Houthis? I don't know. It's all on BBC. It's rumoured to be the Houthis anyway. But yeah,
is that to do with Yemen, or is that
quite
something different?
I don't actually know, but quite possibly. I know it's quite a volatile region out there, isn't it, at the moment?
Well, yeah.
But yeah, not good. Chris says, Chelsea, mate, the government make no sense, lad. I'm loving the banter, just shows how relevant we are, to be honest. But the thing is, the supporters should always come first in every club. Yeah. So when Bolton got a big points deduction and stuff, that's not going to hurt anyone else because the owner will sell up and go. It's the fans that are left in the mud. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Chris says, I hate Arsenal and Spurs, but I wouldn't wish them out of business. Football for me is the best thing in the world. If football didn't exist, I would be absolutely bored. It's true. It's true. Yeah, it's such a shame because the fans are always at the end of it.
If football didn't exist, I'd have YouTube and beer reviews, so I'd be all right. But yeah, it is.
If football didn't exist, I'd be fat.
I've been genuinely saying to you, I got a mate who works at Chelsea, and I've been genuinely ribbing him for years. And I say, has Abramovich not sold up and gone and bought a Formula One team yet because there's more money in it? And, I can't use that joke anymore.
It's but it's funny though. Do you remember when Abramovich took over and they were like, "Oh, it's mafia money. It's mafia money." Do you remember when he took over? That was about 2001, 2002, wasn't it?
Was it? Might have been 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, and I remember it happening, so I'm not entirely surprised to see it go this way. Chris says, "Yeah, Mark, I've sent you a message on Instagram. Thanks, mate. I will get back to that in just a second." Crummy says, "Yes, it's it's Yemen conflict based."
Is this the real Crummy Beard commentating, or is this the fake?
What the beard? What was it? The beardy crumb or the beard crummy or something?
Yeah.
Chris says, and Sid Cannon, keep dreaming. Chelsea will keep winning. Don't worry about that, sunshine. The football banter's kicking off already. Crummy says, no planes have landed in Jeddah since. Rumours of airport attack rising, but unconfirmed. Oh my God, what is happening to the world at the moment? Why can't we just live in peace? It's ridiculous. Captain Meat says, as a Liverpool fan, the 2 European Cups that Chelsea have made, that Chelsea have made them the biggest club in London. I'd agree with that. Sharky says, hello, you Yahoo. He said Abramovich took over in 2003.
Oh, there you go. Wasn't bad. Yeah, close enough.
There we go. And Jim says Chelsea did sponsor an F1 car. Was it Sauber? It was. They put the Chelsea badge on the front, didn't they?
Wow.
It was weird. It was strange. Really, really strange. Mark Jones Gibbons says, Captain Meats stirring the pot much? Doesn't sound like Captain Meats, does it?
A1 banter, mate. A1 banter.
Chris said, the game that made Roman take over Chelsea was when we beat Liverpool to get into the Champions League. Thank you, Ranieri. There we go. Captain says, Chelsea have left Arsenal and Spurs behind. I would absolutely agree with that. Sharky says, for your information, don't let Phil on your stream. Sharky, I've done it once, and I love Trilby Phil, but if I'm letting him on any stream, it's not going to be after 8:30 on a Friday because he gets absolutely smashed.
Is he still? He's still over on Steve's stream pub, is he not?
Is he?
I don't know.
Dear,
well, Stuntman Steve's still going, so I presume Phil's still there.
Christ. Chris says London is blue. No one is on Chelsea's level. I totally agree with you. Sid says, Chris, winning? You mean buying? Oh, it's kicking off now. Grummy Beard says it's not his favourite search engine. He's calling Sharky a Yahoo. Crummy said, what's Phil been doing? Same thing Phil's been doing for the 6 months of every Friday that I've ever known him, getting absolutely slaughtered with his missus in the kitchen. Chris says, Sid Cat. I love Phil Trill, by the way. He's an absolute legend. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. Chris says, Sid Cannon, Liverpool haven't bought their success either. Come off it, lad. Liverpool just done some good business, namely selling Torres to Chelsea for 50 million quid, and that kick-started the whole Suarez Salah thing. What would you reckon, Disco?
Well, at that end, when you're talking about that levels of money, there's all sorts of things going on that you and me probably don't really know about. So
yeah,
I can't remember where Liverpool's money comes from, but they've obviously got a bit. But they've both got the fan base to sustain it, and they've got all those clubs have got 60,000 people filling the stadium, so they've got money going through the coffers.
Exactly that. I think,
as well as all the backing.
Liverpool still owned by Fenway Sports, the guys that own Boston Red Sox. John Henry.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's American, isn't it? Yeah, but I don't know how coach I don't know whether they're they've got the same sort of rumors about how they've made their money and stuff. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to get in trouble.
I don't think you become that rich by being totally legit. Sharky's saying drinking, getting married, and drinking, and more drinking. Well, who got married? Phil. Did he? Might have to jump over to his Instagram and wish him congratulations. Captain Me says, Mark Jones, not stirring the pot, just honest. Sid Cannon says, Chris, no, they haven't done your research in terms of buying. Just Gibbons says, Alan Kirbishley was one hell of a coach. People were raving about Sean Dyche until recently, but Kirbishley did the same thing 20 years ago. Yeah, he did. I think for a long time it was Eddie Howe as well. People were raving about Eddie Howe. Probably the same way the Brentford coach. People were raving about him. Daniel Farke, when he was at Norwich, people were raving. There's always a good one or two. But those coaches that get that sort of name for themselves, they never really make the next step, do they?
Well, I mean, Eddie Howe was a funny one because he'd done so well at Bournemouth on not a lot and dragged them up. And he took like a big money sidestep. So didn't he go to Burnley or somewhere?
Yeah, it was Burnley.
Dyche came out, and it didn't really work out. It just was completely odd move, and it was completely sideways. And then he obviously ended up back at Bournemouth for a while.
Because I was tipping him to be next England manager when Allardyce and that got the job. I thought he could be next England manager. He was young. He was playing exciting football. I thought he was kind of what we needed at the time. But I don't work for the FA, and I'm just a pleb at home. So I guess it didn't happen.
Yeah, the FA don't know what they're talking about either, mate. Most of the time, I don't think really.
Apparently not. Sharky says, "Is Disco getting smoked?"
I haven't got a smoked beer one. I don't even know if I've got one smoked beer in the stash. Yeah. No,
There we
no
go.
smoking tonight. He knows I
There we
like
go.
a smoked beer, so.
Chris says Liverpool the first team to spend $1 billion and not win the Premier League title. So they've spent money. Liverpool fans are jealous that Gerrard slipped. That's all. Oh no, you're going there. You going there? Steve Gerrard, he slipped on his. Captain Meat says Liverpool sending Coutinho to Barcelona bought Alisson and Van Dijk that won us the championship in the league, or Champions League in the league. See, I think that's where Liverpool do good business. They sold Torres for top dollar. Okay, they bought Andy Carroll, but they did buy Suarez. Then I don't know if they sold Suarez or he left on a free. But they always just seem to. I don't know. But yeah, they might spend a lot of money.
That's probably a fair shout about Liverpool. They do chuck some money around, but they do chuck it fairly sensibly when you compare to the Manchester clubs and Chelsea to an extent previously. It'd be like, who's the next big thing in Europe? Who's coming out of Barca or Real Madrid or even some of the other clubs in Spain or whatever, and they're chucking 20 and 30 million at a player that may or may not work out, just so everybody else don't get them, really. But Liverpool do seem to do it a bit more canny, a bit more sensible. They're not going. They're getting sort of well-known players, but not massive names, and it's just they're getting players that fit, I suppose.
Like players like Diogo Jota. I know we would have been quite expensive, but he was a sensible signing. Andy Robertson. I think he cost him 12 million. Andy Robertson. He's on today's market. He's worth, I don't know, 35s, 40s, even 50s, maybe. I don't know, like a lot of money. But hey ho.
Yeah.
Chris says, and that Gerrard wanted to join the mighty Chelsea, but we won't go into why he was forced to stay, shall we? He said, Northwoods is in. Hello, mate. Nice to see you, Northwoods. Sharky's in. Phil was talking about getting married. Oh, Jesus Christ, he must have been pissed.
Yeah, he did mention it on a stream last week. I just assumed he was, but
well, maybe he did. Maybe we just didn't know about it. Not that we had any right to, obviously, but hey ho. Sid Cannon says, Chris, winning, not buying the Champions League in 2005 was the reason. Sid Cannon, 2005 was great. A bit lucky though.
I don't know enough about the Premier League, to be fair. I don't really even bother to watch it most of the time.
Captain Meat says, to be fair, Gerrard slipping did not lose Liverpool the league. Not beating Hull at home and then away stopped us from winning the league. We sacked Rodgers and got Klopp, so every slip has a silver lining. Klopp.
Yeah, you say that. You weren't saying that when he fell over.
No, not at all.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, Captain Meat. Isn't
it? What is it he said? What is it he said? What game was it? Where it was the game before Chelsea where he'd done that huddle and there's that camera over his shoulder and he goes, "We don't let it slip now. We don't let it slip."
Oh yeah.
Do you remember? Yeah. And then the next game he slipped.
For the irony.
But it's probably a bit of a travesty that he never won the Premier League. What a player! And Marcos Gibbons says, not biting about Gerrard slipping. Suarez did.
Did he mean to say put biting and Suarez in the same sentence?
Not biting. I've got some really funny Facebook memories that pop up every so often about Suarez, and one of them was Suarez looks at a football pitch like it's a buffet table. It's things like that. Do you remember when he said who did he bite? He bit was it Chiellini?
When he was playing for Uruguay.
Yeah, but he bit someone when he played for Uruguay. He bit Ivanovic when he was playing for Liverpool, and then he bit someone when he was at Ajax, didn't he?
Oh, okay. I can't stand the bloke, so I don't really. From before that, I can't stand the bloke. Generally, much like I can't stand Ronaldo, but undoubtedly a decent footballer, but one of them wasted talents.
Yeah. Well, the old Ronaldo or the new one?
The new one. Well, I wouldn't say wasted. That's the wrong word. I just don't like his attitude generally.
No, that's fair, mate. That's fair.
Suarez more so.
Chris has always said pressure on you lot and City for the league. Hopefully Liverpool don't let it slip up, eh? You do like a slip or two. Oh no. Travis says, G'day Disco. Is Andy Carroll now playing at West Brom? He's at Reading, I believe.
I thought he retired.
No, I believe he's at Reading. Chris says, Mark, is your phone charged? Yes, it is. We'll get you on. Let me give you 2 secs. Captain Meat says, maybe this time. Oh, we should laugh at Man United and Everton spending. Everton, whoa, mate, they could go down. That could be the end of them.
Bit of a surprise, isn't it?
Well, it's a little bit because they started the year so well. Like they started the year in quite a good shape, but then the players they were signing. I remember my mate Stevie's an Everton fan. I said these players would be really good if they were signed in 2015 because it was like Rondon. Who else was it? It was Rondon.
He signed a couple of his mates, didn't he?
Oh, it was weird. It was really, really weird. Captain Meat says, imagine not buying Werner and buying Jota and buying Diaz for 5 million less than Ali to Everton. What? Diaz was 5 million less than Ali? Oh, mate.
I take it he doesn't mean Cameron.
Yeah, oh my God.
£5 million for Cameron Diaz sounds like a steal.
God, mate, I'd pay that. Chris says, Everton, proper club. Goodison Park, proper stadium. I would say Everton, the best club in Merseyside. Oh, here we go. I have to say, it's refreshing going to a stadium like Everton's, where it is literally everything's fallen apart and it's a proper football stadium. You know,
really? Are they getting a new one, aren't they? They've started building a new one in the docks.
Yeah, I tried to have a look at it because when we went to Beerex. Beerex was at the Liverpool Exhibition Centre, which is on the docks, but I couldn't see.
Down the road, yeah.
Yeah, I literally couldn't see it for all the big buildings. Captain Meats said 3-3 Palace was the nail in the Liverpool. Nail in the coffin for Liverpool not winning that. Yeah, I know. Suarez went for 65 million. Oh my God! So yeah, there we go. Selling Suarez 65 million, and you bought like Firmino and Salah or something for that, didn't you? Chris said Ivanovic, Chiellini, and some player in the Dutch league. And don't forget his issue with Evra. Oh well, yeah. I totally forgot about the Evra thing. Yeah. Cromie Beard says team principals have now all left and gone to race control. Is this thing going to go ahead? I just don't think it's going to go ahead. Money talks, though, doesn't it? Money talks. Captain Meat says Goodison Park is a dump, and Everton's team is championship at best.
I don't think I'll get a chance. I've never been to Goodison. I would quite like to have gone there before they move, but I don't think I'll get
proper
a chance.
Stadium. I went there most recently when it was fireworks night about 4.5 years ago. We went and watched Everton at home versus Watford, and Everton won 3-2 and scored a goal in the last minute, and Tom cleverly missed a penalty. It was just it was mega, absolute. That was my mate Stevie, but yeah, what a Sunday. Mike Jones Gibbons says my son. Oh, wow, Andy Carroll's at West Brom. Sorry, I thought he was at Reading.
Okay.
Mike Jones Gibbons just says my son. Sorry, Mark, I'm not too sure what that means, mate. Please elaborate. Chris says Captain Meats come on Goodison is a proper stadium. It is a proper stadium. It is. Captain says Everton are going to have the best ground in League Two.
Well, I wouldn't mind if they did because I had half a chance of going there next season. It's bad when you wish teams going down. It's not good. It's not good. But if that's not to say we'll go up. But if they do and we do, that'd be tidy. But
be amazing, wouldn't it? It's just it's insane. Some of the teams that are in around that, like Newcastle, like until recently, Newcastle were in it. I mean, Jesus, imagine the championship trip away to Newcastle. Sid Cannon says Everton going down would be amusing, but I'd sooner have the Merseyside derby.
Well, you will have the Merseyside derby. You play Tranmere in the pre-season friendlies, won't you?
He said it, not me, Sid. What can I say? Mark Jones Gibbons is my son, who is the oracle of football news in our house. Said Andy Carroll went to West Brom in Jan. Yeah, fair play, mate. For some reason, I just had him ahead. It was Reading for some reason. God knows why. Chris said, to be honest, why Liverpool fans want Everton to go down? Yes, they hate them, but surely the Merseyside derby is what you want. Won't be good for Merseyside if Everton go down. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. I think I'm a Charlton fan, so I dislike heavily. I just heavily dislike Crystal Palace, but I loved it. But like those two games every season in the Premier League and the Championship were the ones to look out for, you know. So yeah, I know what you mean. Captain Meat says the only thing you'll get at Goodison Park is ringworm, which is ironic because the seats have all got woodworm. John Morris says Italy will never ever qualify for the World Cup again.
Oh, that was funny. I've got no love for Italian football either, and I laughed when I saw that last night. What can you do?
Yeah, it's funny.
I just like Macedonia go on to knock Portugal out as well.
Imagine it. crazier things have happened.
Mm.
Crazier things have happened. Jim, my mate Jim from NCT, we went to Daddy class together. Jim says the Formula One race at the weekend can't go ahead if the medical helicopter can't fly. That is very true. Very, very true. There's a minimum amount of ambulances and helicopters they've got to have on site, isn't there, for the race to take place? So Cannon says,
wow.
Chris, do you want Fulham to come up? Oh, he's banging back. Captain Meat says Everton's basically Spurs of the North. They were boss in the 1960s and a bit of the 80s, and that's it. Oh, Paul's beer reviews is probably watching this spitting in his bed. Chris says John Morris, Italy proper nation. Love the food and the models. Can't disagree with that.
Can't disagree with that. It's just the footballers I'm not that bothered about.
Exactly that, Disco. Chris says Sid Cannon, Fulham is not our main rivals. Couldn't care less. Yeah, no one really cares about Fulham, do they? No one cares about Fulham. Carroll did play for Reading, but joined Bruce at West Brom. There we go. See, I wasn't going mad, just a bit wrong. Chris says, mate, Captain Meats, Everton are a bigger club than Spurs. Spurs level is probably Bury FC. Oh, why?
They're on their way back. They're on the way back. They got their stadium back, I think, last week.
Bury did.
Yeah, apparently.
Fantastic.
I think the fans took it over.
Oh, amazing! I hope they get the club back. The thing is, football's a borderline religion, isn't it? It's not something you can just chop and change. It's not like you can go down the shop and get a new team to support. It doesn't work that way.
Well, you say that. I have done. But...
Captain Meat says Liverpool's biggest games are now City and United now. Yeah, that's quite true.
Which ones?
Hull City and Colchester United.
There's dozens of cities and Uniteds, mate.
Timmy Funster, the rich kid, says, my dad is the largest shareholder of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Can you get a shout out? Shout out to Timmy's dad for saving the world. Joe Morris says Wales will do well at the World Cup. Are they?
Yeah, I'd love to see. You'd love to see them.
Are they in the playoffs, or are they automatically?
Yeah, they've got another game midweek. I think it's against Poland, maybe, or is it Ukraine?
Is that playoffs?
No, they've got. I was reading it last night. They've got another one, but it's against. There's some funny business because of Poland weren't going to play Russia, so they've got to work out how to eject Russia, and I think they were going to have a next playoff next week, but now it's like October or something to see if they qualify.
Fair enough. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I've got plenty of time for Wales as I'm British, so I love all the home nations.
I'd love to see Wales there.
Plenty of time for Wales, yeah.
It would be you know what? They'd do well. They would do well. They've just got that spirit, haven't they? They showed it in the Euros.
It does seem so. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it would be a help if they can, if Bale's there and firing on all cylinders and doesn't, have any problems. But they've got some other good players as well. To be fair. Yeah,
they have them. Dan James, Aaron Ramsey. Who's the big guy up front? Plays for Cardiff. Can't remember, but yeah, good players nonetheless. Sid Cannon says, Chris, they would be a main rival if a certain Ruski had spent his money elsewhere. Oh God, Chris. Also, where's the manager rivals went? Pep and Klopp both embarrassing. Might as well marry each other with the love they have each other for each other. Why don't they slug each other? I'll tell you what. This is a fair point, Chris. You make football rivalries. They don't even exist anymore. Do you remember like United City, Liverpool, Everton, Arsenal, Tottenham? The rivalries exist within the supporters, but the teams just don't care anymore. They're all on Instagram messaging each other and going out for dinner.
At that level, because I don't know, they don't know the history, to be fair, so well. Do you know what I mean? And they don't care about it either so much, and they don't spend. A lot of players don't spend that long at a club to really get into it. They probably get told about. If you're at Liverpool, you're a new young player coming through, you get told about Everton, so you kind of know it. But like you say, at the end of the day, you're still out on the town on a Saturday night or whatever, and you don't, down the lower leagues, down the lower end where you get, like at Charlton and probably and definitely at Plymouth, they get told about it and they're there for a bit longer. So you when you're playing, well, we don't really have so many local rivals at the moment, but if we're playing like Portsmouth has been our local rivals for a while, even though we're nowhere near each other. But everybody at the club knows what it's like to play Portsmouth. It becomes one of them little nitty-gritty games. and the players down there do know it. But yeah, in the Prem, I don't think they know about it so much.
Back in the day, Exeter must have been a big game for you boys.
Yeah, when I first started following Argyle, Shiter was the main rivals. Torquay to slightly lesser extent. A lot of people said Plymouth Portsmouth because it was a dockyard derby. Plymouth, Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Some of the Bristol teams, and then coming up, we had a massive rivalry with like QPR for a few years, just because we was like in the same league and we was just like fighting for the championship. Yeah, well, just because we was in the same league and we used to play them a lot because we was like, then we got into the championship together, so we played them a fair bit. And before that, it was Shittville. We had a massive thing against Shittville to such an extent I still can't pronounce the name of the town properly.
Shittville.
Yeah, it's that place. They play in Orange and they got an airport just north of Watford.
Oh, well, you had a rivalry with them.
Yeah, because when we was in the bottom league, we won the league by a record number of points, 102 points, which is still a record. And Joke Kinnear was running them, and he said we were nothing but a pub team and wouldn't amount to much. And we went on to win the league by 102 points, and like it was just funny seeing them just like thinking they were big, and then they went on to get relegated heavily.
How about that? Right, Crummy Beard says, great point there, Mr. Coleman James, otherwise known as Jim, about the helicopter flying. Captain Meat says there was a fire at Goodison Park last week. Lampard asked the fireman about the cups. The fireman said the kitchen is fine. Chris said, Sid, Chelsea live rent free in your head. Go over it. Oh, God. Jack Howell says, oh, evening, ladies. Hello, Jack. How you doing, mate?
I thought the stream was a bit quiet. Yeah. Hello, Jack.
Yeah, I know. It's weird, isn't it, when he's not in? It's almost like you're missing an arm or something. John Morris says, Barcelona are on the way back. They are. They got a huge bank loan, didn't they? They got like a 450 million euro bank loan, which is why they're signing a load of players all of a sudden. Crummy says, Jacqueline Howard hath arrived. Do your business, Jack. Mark Jones Gibbon says, doesn't every F1 track have a medical centre at every track? It's a medical centre, but it's more like a step above first aid. If they need there has to be hospital emergency care for a hospital linked. There is a bit
more than dealing with a cut or a scratch in it. It's like you might get some serious fucking injuries there.
There is a time. There is a helicopter flying time. It's something like 25 minutes. There's like a time. There is a time, but there has to be a hospital within a certain distance of the track. Jack Howard says, "You better believe I've arrived."
Oh yeah, he's in. We know he's in.
Chris says, JJ Kocher, one of the best I've ever seen. Unbelievable player. Big Sam and a Kocher, one of the weirdest combinations I've ever seen. JJ Kocher was so good they named him twice, and yes, he was immense. Chris said, Jack, how's you? Tom, the Crummy Beard says, at Mark Jones, yes, but only for check over and initial response. They have to have clean access to full trauma units. Exactly that. Captain Meat says, Chris, let's play a quiz. Name a Chelsea player before 2003. Oh, no.
Kerry Dixon.
God.
Jimmy
Jack Howard says, hey, Chris. He says, hey, Chris, I'm good, bar. Hope you're well. Chris says, Scotland's supposed to play Ukraine to qualify for the World Cup. Not looking good.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you wouldn't want to go and beat Ukraine, would you, at the moment?
No, you're not going to go and play a game in Kiev at the moment, are you? Cannon says, Chris, I just don't like cheats. It's getting spicy in the chat. Mark Jones Gibbon. Oh no, that's it always does this when it like hops forward, like when I haven't answered the comments. Mark Jones says we've got a friendly Chelsea. The next game, they play the next off game is in June.
Oh right, yeah. It was meant to be a sweet.
John Morris, yep, says Barcelona on the way back. Absolutely. And Chris says Captain Meats, Zola, Vieira, Hullet. I'm waiting for Mark to drop me the link, so I can't be asked selling you more players. I think it's in, mate. I'm certain it is. Travis Wilson says, imagine Simon's hair dyed in the Welsh colours for the World Cup. That'd need to be a skilled hairdresser at the moment, Trav. Honestly, he's like an advert for L'Oreal. When he was riding that scooter, all his hair was blowing in the wind. I went up to him and went, because you're worth it. Chris says, I'm good, Jack, mate. I'm good. There we go. Chris says, Sid Cannon, you don't like cheats. Have you seen the decisions given to you this season by refs? Ha, 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 Liverpool. Any chat, Disco? Because they do seem to get the rub of the green when it comes to VAR, don't they, Liverpool?
Well, I've no idea. Like I say, I don't really watch that much in Premiership games, to be fair. So I don't even. Couldn't even tell you the Premiership table, to be honest. I
There
don't
we
know,
go.
the Liverpool top or Man City or what. I don't know, Chelsea. I've no idea. Honestly, no idea.
Proper football fan is Disco. He doesn't know what the Premier League is, and to be
Yeah.
honest, I know the top two. That's about it. Joel Morris says, "Do you mean Kiefer Moore?" Yeah, I quite rate Kiefer Moore actually. Jack Howard says, "Fighting the haters as ever I see Chris, mate. They're all jealous. Don't listen." Captain Meat says, "Liverpool keep getting VAR decisions because our attack don't feature Werner and Lukaku." Ha ha ha. Chris says, "Jack, mate, they're obsessed." Crummy says, "Jeddah airspace is officially currently closed. So theoretically, if that continues, it could be stopped because the helicopter couldn't fly. However, the helicopter isn't an absolute necessity. Well, it depends then by road how fast they can or how quick they can get the players to the medical centre." CJ says, "We hate Pompey, up the Saints." My granddad's team was Southampton, so yeah, up the Saints, absolutely for granddad. Sid Cannon says, "Chris, I hate United most, but I've got more respect for them than Chelsea or City." I'd say in the current climate, yeah, I'd agree. I've got more respect for United than Chelsea or City. But then again, United have spent a shed load of money. They just haven't spent it very well. Crummy says, "If the road ambulance is under a certain time to hospital, it can be done with that alone." Yeah. Oh, Dan Petrescu, what a right back, mate.
Dan Pet Rescue. He was good with animals, wasn't he? Dan Pet Rescue.
sounds like a TV show on Dave, doesn't it? A vet called Dan getting cats out of trees. Chris says, "Okay, Sid, hashtag rent free, hashtag this does not slip now." Oh no, he's gone there. Captain Meat says, "I hope Trent reaches Petrescu levels." I don't think he's far off, mate. Trent's a bloody good player.
I do want to say with those that comment there, big up the multiple word hashtags being capitalized because it makes them easier to read. This is a campaign I started about 2 years ago, and I'm glad to see it eventually filtering through.
You'll appreciate my Instagram and Disco because I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this. It's yeah, I'm with you on this. It's basic grammar. Chris says Dan will always be better than Trent. Trent Alexander can't defend. Doesn't need to defend. Doesn't need to. Captain Meat says, "Chris, stop watching Sky Sports News." Oh no, they're going on each other now. Chris is fighting one versus two battle now. Chris says, "Sky Sports News. I prefer Slag Sports News." What about Sky Slag News? Oh dear, we've gone there. Captain Meat says, "I can honestly say Trent is Liverpool's most important player now." Yeah, he's one hell of a player, and I mean, who's England? In terms of right backs? I don't rate Kyle Walker. I really don't rate Kyle Walker.
Shut up! Wash your mouth out. Best right backs in the country. What are you talking about?
No, he used to be. He used to be.
Yeah. I haven't seen him for a while, but
I don't mind him on the right side of a 3, but I don't like him as a right back of a 4. I think he leaves us quite light, and I don't know. There's something with him. I think he always tries to do the hard thing. Like I think if he played it a lot more simple and didn't play his ego so much, I think he'd have a lot. I know, but yet again,
yeah, I'm not even sure. I know what you mean. I'm not even sure it's about ego. He's great going forward. He's like really attacking player, but a lot of people say like he leaves you a bit exposed. But he can half get back quickly. If you lose the ball, he's getting back. And yeah, he does make 1 or 2 mistakes, but he also gets a lot of the ball, and it's a numbers game. If you get a lot of the ball, you're going to make 1 or 2 mistakes in that. Do you know what I mean? It's like
it's fair.
I just like him. I just like for his attacking play, and he does get back and cover. But I can understand why some people don't rate him.
I think that's why I like him on the right side of a 3 because he has got that pace. So if one of your centre backs gets in a bit of trouble or there's a bit of a recovery or something like that, he's there to clear up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I say, I haven't watched a lot because I mean I saw quite a lot of him when he was at Spurs, but I've not really seen him at Man City, so I don't know what he's done. I've only seen him with England recently, really.
There we go. Yeah, to be fair, Man City, I could probably put on a City shirt and look half decent. That's the thing, isn't it? Chris says, Mark, didn't get a notification from Insta. I'll join in 5. No worries, mate. Jack Howard says, I predict a Luke John Frost comment any moment now.
Warning.
You know
Warning,
what?
I think Steve's channel was finished because I think Philby Trill and Luke is in the chat. So I'll give you
Right,
advance warning.
Mr. Common James, my mate Jim says, "Yo, Mark, what's the plan with beers and gears this year?" So for the few of you, or say few of you, there's 18 of you in the chat. For the 18 of you that are in the chat, I've got a huge passion for cars, the same way I've got a passion for beer. I'll show you a car that I got sorted today. It had an MOT. She's back on the road, and we are going to go on some beery adventures. There we go. That's one of my cars. And then I've
Nice
also
wheels,
got
man.
Disco, probably one for you, and Mark 1 Ford Escort.
No, I'm a Vauxhall man, mate. I'm a Vauxhall
There we
man
go.
myself.
Loves his Vauxhall
Yeah.
Vivas. Vauxhall Viva GT, was it called?
You were talking
Viva?
about this earlier on John's stream. If I was buying any car, it would be a Holden Commodore Ute from New Zealand or Australia.
Yeah, cool.
Which is essentially Vauxhall, isn't it? But
it is, but very cool. But yeah, we're going to do some beery adventures. Jim actually has a Lotus. I think it's a Lotus. Or is it an Exige, Jim? But I'll probably be going out and filming with Jim at some point in that as well. But yeah, beers and gears, it's going to be a thing this summer. At least a video a month.
Yep.
Trying to pair safely beers and cars. But yeah, there's so many breweries, pubs, brew pubs, little bolt holes, beauty spots that we can pop a beer. But yeah, it's all obviously going to be done safely. But yeah, beers and gears is going to be a big thing this summer on the Mark's Beer Reviews channel. Luke John Frost says, "Hey up, Ewokster." Hey Luke John, how you doing, mate? Isn't he, Luke? You on holiday? Or have I just made that up? I'm certain you're on holiday.
No, he was at Three Brothers earlier, I think. So I think he's still up in the northeast.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Captain Meat says, "We're obsessed. No Liverpool fan ever think about the Gerrard slip. It only comes up when we play Chelsea." Well, you've won the Premier League since then. Sharky says, "Jack Howard, don't forget about Phil." What did I say? Drunken nutters, yeah. So what did I say? Trilby Phil comes in. Drunken nutters, yes.
For me.
Normally loves a little Instagram live on a Friday. Does Phil. Luke's laughing at Jack. Crummy's Phil be true. Chado, hi mate. Some drunkard name Phil sent me. Also Stuntman sent me. Chado, thanks for coming in, mate. I normally see you on lives with Joey. Stuntman as well. But yeah, I normally catch you in the comments. But yeah, thanks for coming along, mate. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Chris says, "Thank you, Disco, for your kind words. Hashtag capital letters matter." Look at the text. You're going to be all over that.
Good stuff.
Sharky says, "We want Phil." Luke John Frost says, "Philby, you drunken nut job." He is a drunken nut job, is Phil. Jack says, "Get Phil up on the stream right now." No, last time I did that, oh my god, it was absolute chaos. Luke John Frost says, "We want Phil." Phil says, "Hello, crummy bread, Sharky boy." Luke John Frost says, "Chadao, you handsome man, you." He is a handsome man, is Chadao, actually. Trilby's laughing at Jack. Chris says, "Reece James is better than Trent." I don't know, mate. I do rate Reece James, but main job of a right back is to defend. But you're into the modern fullback thing conversation now, aren't you? You know, what is a modern fullback? All the best fullbacks in the world. You look at Dani Alves, Roberto Carlos, Cafu. They were all good going forward. Very, very good going forward. Sharky says, "Hey, Trilby Phil, get another beer." I feel like Trilby Phil's really, really drunk. Don't you, Disco?
I should have looked in on. I'd looked briefly in on Steve's stream with Phil earlier this evening. He didn't seem too bad, but I didn't get a chance to go back.
You just never know, dear. You just never know. Trilby Phil says, "Disco is top dog." There we go. Good comments.
Good man, Phil, sir. Good man.
Chidare says, "Luke John Frost lies. All lies." Paul's Beer Reviews is in LMA. Says, "Evening, lads. What are you drinking?" I am drinking. I'm just coming to the end of a Black Isle, because I always say Black Iris. Black Isle Hibernator, an oatmeal stout, and it's just a proper ballsy, good old British stout. What are you on, Disco?
So I just finished. I started fairly light. I've got a lager from Endangered Brewing.
All right.
So they're down in Sussex. Obviously, do a lot about animals, saving animals mostly in Africa. I bought them because they was on they had a massive deal, but they don't manage to. They got like a wheat beer, they got a lager, and they got a pale ale. But that was really nice. It's only like 4.5%, I think, 4%. But yeah, really great can artwork.
There we go.
With the animals, it's a desert wolf, I think. Oh, African wild dog. So,
Well,
don't know why they're endangered.
That's a cause that I'll drink too.
Sweet. And I just moved on to my local brewery, Perivale, just up the road, up the end of the central line.
Mm-hmm.
It says very pale.
There we go.
Like a marmalade pale ale. Nice
Oh, that sounds
orange
all right.
notes, so.
There we go. See, Paul? That's what we're drinking. What are you drinking, Paul? Jadad says, pale ale originally from Colorado. Jack Howard says, I can't see what Rasco's drinking. Oh, God. 240p, baby.
I've no idea what it looks like. Mashed potato, isn't it?
Cromie says, sexy Viking in the hoose. And we have a Chris, a Chelsea fan, to air his London-based football thing. Hello, Chris. You right, mate?
Oh, absolute pleasure to be back, lads. How are you? How you doing?
How you doing, mate? All right. Cheers.
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. It's just that I'm just a bit bold, obviously. I want to talk about football, but it's just the ownership. You know what I mean? It might as well just be Financial Times we're talking about, because that's all it seems to be. The media don't know anything about the new owners of Chelsea, because, like, at the end of the day, whoever gets the club gets the club. Like, I'm not a fan of these people that's coming on and saying, we want to do this and that. Do your business behind closed doors. If you want the club, get the club. Do your best to get the club. Don't be talking 24/7. It's annoying, really. It's annoying, really. But yeah. But we all know Everton are a proper club. Liverpool, I don't know, mate. They like to slip a few times, but that's just the way it
is. There we go. Right. So those of you who just logged in, this isn't an episode of TalkSport with an angry Chelsea fan. This is Mark
717 ring in.
Captain Meats says, to see why Trent is Liverpool's most important player is to look at his heat map. Also, Virgil, Fabinho and Matip will clean up for him. Mate, Fabinho is unsung. He's one of them players. He'll play and play. He's a very, very good player. Kind of like the Kante role, really. Just to annoy Chris, putting Fabinho in Kante's bracket. Jack Howard says, when I'm missing Rasco, I smear Vaseline over my screen.
Well, listen, hang on. Who's this? What's this Rasco business, Mr. Howard?
This is Rasco business, and to be fair, I'm with Jack, because watching Rasco on the internet is like watching. It's like trying to watch you through running water. It's really difficult.
Oh no, I thought Jack was generally talking about my really poor mashed potato internet, because I haven't got great internet. But as far as I can see, it's all right. But Rasco's not that. Rasco's got better tech than I have, so he's usually all right. It's just his glasses.
Every time I used to log into your Instagram lives, he was always really sort of like Blair Witch, blurry and a bit.
That's true. Instagram's a different kettle of fish, but
he loved slagging off Instagram as well, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Well, it is a bag of spanners, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not really its platform, is it? Jadar says, "Oi, Jack Howard, stuff at Viking." Paul's beer review says, "Crumbly." Trilby Phil says, "Chadeo." Captain says, "Please don't mention to Paul's beer reviews that I said Everton were the Spurs of the North." Paul, he did, and I was calling for you to come in earlier. I was like the Pied Piper with the pipe going. Where's Paul? Luke John Frost says, "Hey up, Paul." And Jim says, "Oh, no way. I didn't know you had a 7. I thought I told you I did." That's my Westfield, by the way. Yeah, we can go out. We can go out and have a little play around Norfolk somewhere. Chado says, "Oh no, not Philby Trill." Trilby Phil says the Viking is officially sexy, and Jim says yes, he's got an exige now. See, so we've got some beers and gears content with an exige coming up. Oh no, Stuntman says Stuntman raid. No, I appreciate that, mate. Thank you. And Chris says Everton are bigger than Spurs. Don't get it twisted. Spurs are shocking.
100%.
I'm going to balance that out.
There we go.
I'm going to balance that out with a wee soft spot for Spurs.
Luke John Frost says disco. I've got a soft spot for Spurs, because when we were in the Premier League and we used to play them away, we always used to beat them at White Hart Lane.
I actually, you know what, Mark? I'm going to jump on that. I have a soft spot for Spurs as well, because every time we play them, we get 6 points every season, so I love it as well. Yeah.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. 3 points. Give it a.
That's it. That is it. Sharky says, I'm going to pick up some interesting beer in a few minutes. Okay, you have to let us know, mate.
Some slagger.
Crummy Beard says, Mark, fancy a day's filming at Caffeine and Machine. Where's that? Talk to me. Text me. But yeah, I'm up for it. You know, I'm game for a day's filming. Sharky says, Stuntman Steve's Tavern. Shut up, Steve. Jack Howard says, Beers and Gears. Who came up with that belter of a series name? It was indeed Jack Howard. I've got no comeback for that. It was
Make sure
annoying.
you put the S on it because beer. Make sure you put the S on it because Beer and Gear is an entirely different channel.
I have to say, Mr. Howard did get me this the other
That's
day.
very nice.
Looks smart,
That's nice. That yeah.
It's cool, isn't it? There we go. Good old boys, Jack. And he bought me some beers as well. Can't complain. Paul's Brewer Review says, hello, Luke. Evening, Trilby. Luke John Frost says, bloody hell, Steve. Look what you started. Captain Meat says, sorry, old Vauxhalls are soon cool, but after the 1990 blur. Oh, I don't know what that means, mate.
That's in response to me talking about Vauxhalls rather than Fords, isn't it? But
yeah, true. I mean, to be fair, Vauxhalls, they done the Viva, which was like the Escort comparison, but they did like a Viva GT that had a bit of power, didn't they?
Vauxhall Vivas were like the 70s, weren't they?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it was a Mark on Escort.
No, I'm not that old, Mark. Stroll on. I'm a Vauxhall Astra. I nearly bought an Escort, but I ended up going for Vauxhall Astra. It was my first car.
Did you get Dragon Soup, Mark? Did you get Dragon Soup?
No, haven't had. I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah.
I kept my arse peeled for it in Liverpool. Didn't find it.
Oh, there's a certain offie in Liverpool, Penny Lane, I think it is. Does Dragon Soup. I haven't done Dragon Soup since last year. That was kind of fun. That was fun night.
It's mad, isn't it? You know, this says what the percentage, as I said to Mark the last time, mate. The percentage is just they're lying. That's all I can say. They're lying. Yeah.
There we go. The Crummy Beer says you lot need to do better on smashing that like button. I don't even know. I can't see that from where I am. But if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah,
and if you want to subscribe, I'd appreciate that as well. The guy to my right on the screen is Disco from Rasco and Disco's beer reviews. Is it or Rasco and Disco show?
Rasco and Disco Beer Review is the general name.
I thought it was.
We did go with Rasco and Disco Show for a while when we was doing the Instagram, but we haven't done Instagram for a while, so a couple of months now.
So yeah, if you type in Rasco, there's only one channel that pops up, and then the guy below me is Chris. He just goes by the name of Chris. Doesn't have a YouTube channel. Just likes talking bollocks.
Slag beer reviews. That's the way.
There we go. Slag beer reviews. Luke John Frost says, "Smash your button, Crumb." Oh God. Is that the like button or the pink button? Jack Howard says, I prefer that fake bread account. Oh, what was it? The Beard Crummy or something with his logo upside down.
There's been about 2 different ones in the last 3 days, isn't there?
He's made it. That's when you know you've made it. Stuntman Steve says, lol, I love it. Hence why I said Stuntman Raid, lol. Got told to go to bed, but still going. Mate, cheers to that. Thanks for coming in, Steve. You're a legend. Thank you. Absolute lad. Oh my God. Jim says, haha, remember Susan Boyle's hashtag? Susan album party.
Exactly. Yeah.
What a singer. Fantastic woman.
Sus anal bum party.
Anal bum party, yeah. That's why you need capital letters.
It says something else in my it says yeah.
Oh, sus anal bum party. Yeah, I've never been to one of them. Luke John Frost says that didn't come out right. Trilby Phil says there's only one sexy Viking. And that is Paul's beer reviews. Crummy Beard says, drivers' meeting is finished. All left the way from media except Russell, who's headed to race control. Mate, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
Has this dragged on for longer than an actual Formula One race?
Mate, this has been going on for about 4 hours now.
Wait, hold on, Mark. Are you a Lewis Hamilton fan, Mark? Because I personally, I'm not an avid Formula One watcher. Drive to Survive got me into the Formula One, to be honest. But I'm Team Red Bull all way, mate. Come on, Verstappen. Come on, mate.
I'll tell you what, I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan because I like what he does on the track, and I like it that he's British. Equally, I've got a lot of respect for Max Verstappen. A lot of the Formula One teams are British as well. So yeah, it's really good. It's a really good British sort of showcase, really, at the moment.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Phil says, "Not that drunk. Bring it on, King Ewok." Oh no. No, I don't know if I'm ready, Phil. Stuntman says, "Always chill with Phil, ain't drunk yet, lol." I know he is. I just know he is. It's Friday. It's
Put him on. How bad can it be?
25 minutes to 12. I'll tell you what. I'll send him the bloody link, and on your head be it.
Don't blame me. I never said it.
You just said it. Oh God. Right. This is if it all goes tits, blame Disco. Trilby.
No, if it all goes tits, blame Rasco because he's not here.
Look, he's live. Look.
Who's
He's
that?
live.
Who's that?
Oh, is he on? Yeah, he started doing
live.
Instagram lives on a Friday night.
I knew he loves a live when he's pissed. Jack Howard says, "What the effort is a desert wolf?" That's on your can.
Mark, what's your favourite car, Mark? What's your favourite car?
Favourite car is my Mark 1 Escort that I own with my dad. I'll show you a picture.
I'll be honest, mate. This could probably fit my personality. I'm a Porsche. I love a Porsche. I'm just I just like a Porsche. Obviously, people with Porsches are a Wanker, but I do like a Porsche, to be honest.
Well, I quite like a Porsche, mate. Where are we?
No, it's not. It's not a desert wolf. It's an African wild dog, apparently. Whatever it is, it's an endangered species.
Oh my God, it was before that, wasn't it? Jesus. There we go. My favourite car is the one I'm going to show on the screen, this is the very car that I co-own with my dad.
Oh, I don't know about the colour, but
what a beautiful colour.
Do you like the colour?
Yeah, that's the colour I want from my Holden Commodore Ute.
It's like a lime green, isn't it? Yeah. To be fair, I'm not a fan of the colour, but the car looks vintage.
Oh yeah, it's mint.
Because I'm Argyle, I like anything green. So.
Oh yeah, Plymouth, mate. You know what? I've got a lot of respect for Plymouth. As well. Proper car, bigger than Liverpool. I've got to say, I would say Plymouth are bigger than Liverpool.
Hashtag Argyle are massive, all in capital.
Yeah, exactly.
Luke John Frost says, "Big up the anal bum parties." Well, big up's probably the right phrase if that's your thing. Captain Meat says, "Reece James is more of a Gary Neville. No one grew up wanting to be a Gary Neville. Trent is the conversation as best right back ever, up there with Cafu and Carlos. That's strong.
Now you're taking it too far.
That's strong. I agree, he's good. But yeah, that's strong. True Phil says, "No, mate, working on it." Sharky says, Stuntman Steve's Tavern. I can't hear you. Louder. Oh God. Stuntman says, "By the way, hi to you, Mark and Disco. Hope you both well." Hello, mate. Thanks for coming in. You good old boy is Steve. Trevor Wilson says, "Had a wonderful black velvet stout the other day. Absolutely gorgeous it was. There's a can going in Mark's box." Oh, mate. Was it was it called Glorious Purpose or something? Is that the one that Simon reviewed recently? And I know John, I think, had one, and maybe Paul had one too. Stuntman Steve says, "Lolly's laughing at Sharks Homebrewing." Sharky says, "Okay, I'm off. Everyone have a great evening weekend. Chat with you all sooner or later." Sharky, thanks for coming in, mate.
Have a good one. Have a good one.
Oh, Shark.
No, I was just saying. Have a good one too, Shark.
Yeah, no, Kev's a lovely, lovely bloke. Crummy Beard says, "Press conference scheduled for midnight." Oh my God. This is for the Formula One. So there's been meetings. For those that have just come in, there's been meetings, about 4 or 5 hours worth of meetings, team managers going in and then drivers going in. And now there's a press conference at midnight. Oh my God. Truby Phil says, "A Scottish Chelsea fan, who knew?"
Chelsea till I die, mate.
Alison McMillan says, "Is the dude with the beard and glasses actor Brian Posen? Never knew you got celebrities on."
I have no idea who that is because I don't really know that many actors.
I'm
but no,
going to Google Brian Posen. I hope this is good. I love a good lookalike.
Nobody else who looks like me. Let's be honest.
Brian Posehan.
Nah, that's too far. That's too far.
Fuck. I know who that is now. Oh, he was in Big Bang Theory, wasn't he?
I don't watch television.
That's the biologist from Big Bang Theory.
There we go. That is Alison McMillan. If you want to send some abuse, Disco, what have you got to say?
It's a little harsh, Alex. I'm not Ginger. You're thinking of Paul and John.
Oh, there we go. A hybrid. Luke John Frost says, can we get subtitles on for Chris and tell him this isn't Radio 2, no need for phone-ins?
So, well, if you get subtitles going.
There we go. Jack Howard says, can't understand a word. Something about haggis. Oh, God.
Yeah, 100% as well, yeah.
Oh, God. Dear, oh, dear. Stuntman says, Jack Howard, Suffer Viking, you lovely man. Message you, bro. Sorry for the late reply. Paul's beer reviews is laughing. Jack Howard is laughing. I'll have to find out about what that was about. That was, 10 minutes ago? I'm a nightmare. Stuntman says, Paul's beer reviews. How's you, sir? Luke John Frost says, cabbage T40 over on Rasco and Disco channel.
He's talking about the quality, the quality of the.
The internet.
Yeah.
Jack Howard says, shut up, Steve. Don't everyone know we are mates, for fuck's sake? Steve says, for fuck's sake. Luke John Frost says, Jack actually coming up with something useful, must have been pissed. He is a bit like that, Jack Howard. Every time he says something sensible, it's like, right, is he taking the mickey here? Because this actually sounds worthy of reading. Luke, Jack Howard says, Luke, it was a one-off, mate. Don't panic. Plenty of Dragon Soup available in Spa in Leiston. No. Spa sell it?
Yes, but yeah, basically every kind of corner shop or Spa or even I've never seen it in the supermarkets, to be fair, but you definitely will see it, Mark. Honestly, you will. It's everywhere.
Is it in cans or bottles?
Cans. It's in cans, yeah.
Have you seen it, Disco? Do you know what this stuff is?
What's that? The
Dragon Soup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had it a while back. There's a guy that we follow on. I don't know if you know him. Blue Nose Beer Reviews. He was kind of like the leading guy of Dragon Soup. So I couldn't find any in the area. I went down to one of my local off licenses, like Polish off licenses. I was just wondering along. They said they stocked it. They didn't. I went in. I chatted to the woman behind the jump, and she was like, "I've never heard of that. That sounds brilliant." And I went back. She said, "Leave it with me." I went back a couple of weeks later, and she'd been up the wholesaler and ordered like a rack of it in. So I bought a couple off her. I've not actually been back since, to be fair. But she said from my description, she enjoyed it so much she wanted to get some. So yeah,
but Mark, to be honest,
last year, summer it was. I had a blue raspberry one. It looks like the mouthwash you get at the dentist's.
Yeah, Mark doesn't look like you. To be fair, Mark, you won't like it. You won't like it because I just think you won't like it. Cracking open a kind of.
Go then, mate.
That's not the important factor. You don't buy it because you like the taste of it or you like it's just an experience.
Yeah. The experience is yeah. Good luck after one can. Good luck. That's what I'm saying.
So I've just seen that they bought it at the Spa in Leiston. Are you sure they haven't just dipped a couple of cans in the water from the nuclear power plant up the road and they're selling it as Dragon Soup?
100%.
Because it does look 100%. Lethal.
It started like as Nathanham's ghost ship, and it got dipped.
That's an entirely separate stream talking about ghost ship with you and me.
Yeah. Not a fan. Luke John Frost says never panic me, Jack. Cool as a fat kid in a very big candy shop. Well, surely that isn't very cool because that kid would be running around going mad. Stuntman Steve says, "Oh no, Dragon Soup not good." Captain Meat says, "What about smashing the back door?" Oh Lord. Jack says, "You're allowed to stay up, are you, Steve? Don't you dare make a sound or say a word, though, will you?" Luke John Frost says, "You did enough of that in Liverpool." I heard from a dicky bird. What was that, Luke? Oh, I've got all up to all sorts, mate. Same as Captain Meats, he was a nightmare. Loves a beer and is an absolute animal after a couple of beers. Captain Meats says, "Mark, can you ask Mark? Can you ask?"
You mean Chris? It means Chris, I think. Yeah.
Can you ask Mark? Is Liverpool's left back better than Chelsea's? Oh yeah.
Well, obviously implying to me, yeah. Well, Andy Robertson is better than Chilwell. But
yes. He is.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, didn't take away from Gerald slipping, did it? So that's what it is.
There we go. Luke John Frost says, "Chris, you're talking baloney. Red Bull, get a grip." Oh dear.
Well, hold on, Mark. Is Luke's team Middlesbrough? I think Luke's team is Middlesbrough.
It would be.
Yeah, I think Luke's sounding very upset. I mean, did you see them against Chelsea? Chris Wilder, come on, what are you doing, mate? Oh, Middlesbrough, terrible team.
Jack Howard says Hamilton's turned into a right weirdo. He does wear weird gear, doesn't he? He's kind of a bit of a fashion icon now. I don't know who thinks he's an icon. Some of his gear is very suspect. Jack Howard says, "Here we go. Trilby, get on, you schloog." Luke John Frost says Hamilton needs to find a rock and hide behind it. Enough of bringing politics into sport. The whole reason to watch sport is to get away from the news. I absolutely agree with that, Luke John Frost. Chelsea fans, they're an endangered species.
Yeah, possibly, but eventually.
Timmy Funster, heir to the Johnson & Johnson vaccine thing, although they make baby oil, which is a bit weird. He said, "This live's littered with peasants." There we go. Jack Howard says, exactly what wild tongue flirting is a desert wolf. Platoon in army ain't it, because defo not... Jack's had a beer. Captain Meat says, "Is that a Mark 1 Mexico?" It isn't a Mexico, mate. I wish I had the money for a Mexico, but it is a Mark 1 nonetheless. Paul's Beer Review says, Better World did something similar. Originally, their can work was related to endangered species and raised money for conservation efforts. Great stuff.
Yeah, they did their Better World. They got a hazelnut stout that was like basically liquid Nutella. The stout was weird. I should get some more of that. Their other stuff was pretty good as well, but they're just down the road like Watford, Boreham Wood. They are.
Oh, that's why. That's why Paul knows them then. Jack Howard says, "A bit serious, Paul, your tit." Paul says, "Do you not like your animals then, Jackie boy?" Crumby says, "He likes the..." Can't type again. Luke Frost says, "What did he say?" Yep, who the hell knows? Jack Howard says, "Mate, I'm all about the old wildlife, mate." Yeah. You are when you rock up to them car parks that you go to. Stuntman Steve says, "Mark, did you pop in Trilby Feels Live earlier only because he was thinking it might be your other account?" No, it was me because I was going to invite him through Instagram, but then I saw he was live. So, yeah, it was me. Paul's Beer Review says, "Good lad, cheers." Captain Meat says, "Lads, can I just mention..." No. That's what he was saying. Every time we were in Liverpool, he was so smashed and we were smashed. "Hey, lads, can I just say something?" And Paul would turn to him and go, "No." Captain Meats was that much on one. We had to put him in a 1 minute timeout. He was absolutely on one. Lads, can I just mention Trent's stats? 23 years old, 214 games, 12 goals and 59 assists.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's up there with Cafu though, does it? Come on.
No, he will be the best fullback of all time when he retires.
No, he won't. No, he won't.
I think that's a big claim.
Yeah.
Crummy Peters, press conference information either wrong or has been cancelled. At present, the race will go on. Absolute scenes, honestly. Yeah, it doesn't go well after the Abu Dhabi Formula One nonsense that happened at the end of last season. Jack Howard said, I went out deer spotting this evening. Saw no deer, but lots of muntjac, few badgers and a fox. And that's a true story, no punchline. Yeah, so around here in East Anglia, the roads are littered with muntjac or Chinese water deer or whatever they're called. This goes off. Paul's Beer Review says, "Love that, mate." Jack Howard says, "Do it regularly, mate. Let the boy drive the motor through the bird reserve looking for animals. He's 7. Brilliant. This goes back in. You all right, mate?
Yeah, sorry. It had a little bit of a wobble.
That's all right. Paul's Beer Review says, "Classic." Luke John Frost says, "Disco, can you translate when Chris talks?" Oh, God.
Quality.
I can translate exactly what he's saying. I can understand the Scottish vernacular business completely. I've read Transporting, by the way.
Timmy Funster, the heir to the Johnson & Johnson baby oil / vaccine empire, says, "Very camp reading voice." It is a little bit, mate, but it is what it is.
Yeah, Mark, can I just interrupt? Your camera's froze, so it's just you smiling like you're posing.
Oh, there we go. Look at me.
Look at me. I thought that was just me. That's why I refreshed. That's why I dropped out.
Very nice smile, Mark. You've got a very good smile. Yeah.
Look at that. I've got like an upside down triangular head.
You should go modelling, mate. You should do modelling. Honestly,
look at that. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we'll kind of roll with it. Maybe we'll. I'll tell you what. Let's change to my laptop camera because this is an absolute potato camera. There we go. Look at the state of that.
There we go. Yeah.
Jack Howard says, "Liquid Nutella, like my arse on the beer."
Thanks, Jack.
Is the GoPro working again? It is. I think it will be working.
Yeah, it just says GoPro for me. Yeah.
It should load back in. anytime today, unless it needs just turning on. Where are we? Right, that's turned off. We're going to go in again. This happens all the time. And John from Lords was commenting about this the other day. We should be in 3, 2, 1. Boom.
No.
No.
3,
Boom.
2, 1.
Boom.
No. 3, 2, 1.
Boom.
No. 3, 2, 1. No, still waiting, mate. Still waiting. Still waiting.
We'll kick about with this.
There we go. There we go.
We'll kick about with this camera. This is absolutely terrible. Captain Meat says, Mark Jones. No, I think he'll stay at Red Bull. Who's that? Oh, right back.
No, I
Mark
think
Jones given.
for
Do you think
Red
Red
Bull
Bull is further forward in the future? Right. Oh, sorry, I totally missed that.
Red Bull right back or Rubidium.
Yeah, fair play. Captain Meat says, no, he'll stay at right back. There we go. Incredible freeze face on Mark. Yeah, I know. Weird. It's the GoPro, mate. It's a bloody nightmare. Let's try it again. It should be loaded in by now. No, never mind. Okay. John Frost says, Mark has been frozen for so long. Probably the best place for me, mate. Jack Howard says, that is Fresh Flintstone, I swear. Is that me?
No, Simon Cowell for me, mate. You know what I mean?
Weird. Mark's frozen is showing both his pooing and coming face. They are the same thing. Both things do happen simultaneously. Luke John Frost says, stuff for nightmares, that face. There we go. Right then, we are getting on. I'm absolutely knackered. I think we're going to call the stream there, lads. Is that all right with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah, no worries, mate. We can all go over to Instagram and watch Trilby Phil make a difference.
Yeah, if you do want to go over to Instagram and have a laugh, Trilby Phil will be absolutely battered, struggling to operate his phone.
To be fair, he's doing all right, and he's arguing with some Liverpool fans over there. So,
nah, well, you know what? I've got a history of that, mate, so it's fine. It's fine.
Jack Howard, this is going to be the last comment that we get. Jack Mark's head is perfectly peanut in a shell shape. Yeah, it kind of goes out there, thin there, and then my big fat cheeks pop out again. Thanks, Jack, for that one, mate. I appreciate it. Disco, Chris, thanks so much for coming in, guys.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure.
Good to chat on a live.
For those that are in, Chris doesn't really have a beer reviews channel. It's Slag Lager beer reviews.
nah, it's just a joke. No, but you know what, right? The more I think about it, the more I think, you know what, I'll do it. But you know what? It's one of them where it's like the beers I've tried. I've tried them. I don't want to review them, so I'm going to have to dip into the craft beer and the stouts. I'm going to have to dip into that because I drink lager. I like, that's why I say slagger. You know what I mean? I like lager, so yeah, I'm going to have to dip into that, but we'll see. But obviously, I'll need subtitles because obviously Luke and John, Luke, Jack, and everyone else can't understand me apparently. So I'll get some subtitles and a translator. I will employ a translator. So
Luke's got no right to talk about translation with his accent. To be fair, I can
Middlesbrough.
Everyone in the chat, thank you so much. If you could like the video, that'd be great. And if you haven't subscribed and you fancy doing it, I appreciate it. Equally, there's a guy down there called Disco. He's part of Rasco and Disco's beer reviews. Go over and show his channel some love and drop him a sub as well. They are the best double act in the world. Better than Anton Deck and Dennis Irwin and Gary Neville. Right, I am off to go into bed and find out all about this F1 drama. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.